this is our backup.
Okay.
And there's a positive and a negative on the battery. When the batteries sort of slide in here, there's a stop on the one end, so you sort of know. The first thing we're trying to do, and this is the part I don't know about LTD, this thing flashes on and off every now and then and tells you how much battery is left. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but at least it tells you that. The first thing we want to do is we're going to set the time. And you'll see it says the current time is that. The up and down buttons are just there. So we're going to go down. What time is it? About 8:30?
Yeah, 8:29.
I'm having trouble seeing upside down, but let me do my best.
Good.
Okay, so the first thing is we set the time to the current time, and then we hit the button set. And that brings us to the first settings. There's 6 possible settings on here.
Okay.
We only use 3. So then the first thing that comes up after the battery goes back is it's set at current time. We're going to go to the first setting. I have it set for 7 a.m. so we don't have to mess. We hit the set again, and then we go to how much time we're going to run it.
Right.
So we're going to set this to 16 seconds, which we currently have. So then we set it to 16, we hit set, and there we go again. So now we're at number 2. And this one I just set to say 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're going to go to 1 p.m. here. And again, this is not rocket science. I just set them so they're spread out.
Mm-hmm.
Is that 1?
That's 11.
Oh, 11. Thanks. So there we go. 1 p.m. That's setting number 2. We hit set. Now we're going to go and move it to the amount of time. And again, this time varies depending upon where we are in the feed cycle, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So I set that one for 17. It doesn't matter. This is just a test. And then we hit number 3. We're going to go and set this one at 7 p.m. Okay, 7 p.m. set, and now we're going to run this one up to say 16 seconds, and we're going to set. Now we're going to number 4. You can see we're not going to use this, but I want to just show you, because the important thing is that the time, the amount of distribution is 0s.
0.
And we'll go to 5 zeros, 6 zeros. If we would ever have to feed, this thing only goes up to, I think it's 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So if we ever have to feed more than the 20 seconds 3 times a day, we'd have to incorporate, one of the other time settings, 4, 5, or 6.
Right.
So that's basically it. One of the problems we have is the batteries. If the can is too full, the batteries won't turn this flywheel down here. So consequently, in the wintertime when the batteries are cold, and even in the summertime, once these batteries get to be about 50% or less, if you don't see the can with a funnel in the middle of it that shows it's going down, then we have a problem. You have to probably change batteries. Sometimes it's actually the apparatus, but for most part, it's the battery. Now, some of the batteries, and I've been trying to buy one of the other batteries is an alkaline battery. This is a carbon zinc battery. I don't think they're quite as strong and powerful and last as long. So, and I usually have one, it's over there. I hate to leave the batteries in the shed in the wintertime because of the temperature. So the next thing, we just want to make sure that this lid is on there correctly, and we make sure the wires are inside. the bolt comes out the bottom here,
Mm-hmm.
and we put this nut on, and once it's on, we're secure. And I have holes drilled in the can to fit that bolt that's in there, and that way we always know that the feed is going in the right direction. But that's pretty simple. Now the question is, how do we figure out the amount of feed and when? The hatchery, when they deliver the fish, there's different sizes of the feed.
Mm-hmm.
So they usually tell me where to start. And then periodically, maybe every 4 to 6 weeks, I do a sampling of the fish. I net them, I weigh them, and I have the scales there, just regular bathroom scales. And you have to weigh the water, of course. And then I try to get at least, in the beginning, I can get 10 fish in the bucket. In the latter part, I only get about 6 or 7 in the bucket. When I use 6 or 7, I try to use 2 samplings.
Yeah.
I do it twice just to get an idea. But the good news is this chart sort of tells us, and I'll make a copy of the chart and put it in that manual. Currently, our fish are about 14.7 ounces. And for sake of talking here, we'll just say the chart shows that the fish per pound, we'll just say there's 1 fish per pound. So the formula over here, and this is a function of percentage, and it's when we do the multiplication, we have to take 0.011. The percentage is 1.1, but it's, in the multiplication. So if we have 500 fish in there,
Right.
1 per pound times 1.1, we get somewhere like 4.6 pounds of feed.
Per day.
Now, per day. Now, I think this chart, the chart is done for how long you want to feed them to get them to size.
Right.
I think this chart I've been using about 65% of it, and I'll put that all in a mathematical formula for you. But the bottom line is, that's too much feed. The other thing is the hatchery has runs that when they clean the fish out, they drain the water and take all the effluent out of there. We have no place to clean our effluent.
Right.
So I don't want to overfeed them and have a lot of effluent there. If you have too much effluent in there, it'll raise the ammonia level of the water. If we raise the ammonia level of the water, we're going to start losing fish. And we have no real way of cleaning out the effluent.
Right.
So I would rather sort of underfeed them. When we go to stock these fish, they're always in the pound range or something like that. And that's a nice sized fish. I mean, it's 12 to 14 inches. We always have holdovers. Those holdovers right now are probably in the 18-inch category. So,
yeah,
we got nice fish. But anyway, I'll put this chart in the manual and I'll explain how to use it again. But it's pretty simple. But again, their formula here is them trying to get their fish to size in a certain period, and we might have longer.
Right.
So that's about it.